Today is National Tell a Fairy Tale Day. Folktales and fairy tales are ancient sources of delight and of entertainment, and of course they're also ways that cultures explore their rules and their values, and sometimes ways to subvert those rules and to subvert those values. I've selected a fairy tale to read for you for today, featuring a tiger for Clemson, although this tiger doesn't end up too well. This tale is called The Tiger and the Jackal, or in some versions it's also called The Close Alliance. And this version that I'm reading was collected in the late 19th century by a British folklorist, but it has its roots in a very, very ancient tale going back more than 2,000 years to a collection of Indian folktales called the Panchatantra. In its 19th century publication, this tale has a moral along with it, which says, "Don't tie your tail to a coward." But it has, of course, in addition to this overt moral, all of these other subtle messages that we can read along the way. Messages about power, the power of bravery, the power of bluffing even, the power of subverting expectations, and also the power that can come along with subverting expectations of gender and of gender performance. So here it is, The Tiger and the Jackal, or The Close Alliance. There was once a farmer who went out with his oxen one morning to plow his field. And he had just finished plowing one row when a tiger walked up to him and said, "Good morning, friend. How are you today?" "Good morning, sir. I'm very well, sir," said the farmer. He was shaking with fear, but he felt it wise to be polite. "I see you have 2 fine oxen," said the tiger. "I'm very hungry. Take their yokes off at once, please, for I intend to eat them." The farmer's courage returned now that he realized the tiger did not plan to eat him. Still, he did not want to give up his oxen for the tiger's meal. "My friend," said the farmer, "I need these oxen to plow my field. Surely a brave tiger like you can hunt for a good meal elsewhere." "Never mind that," said the tiger crossly. "Unyoke the oxen. I will be ready to eat them in a moment." And the tiger began to sharpen his teeth and claws on a stone. "The oxen are very tough and will be hard to eat," pleaded the farmer. "My wife has a fat young milk cow at home. Spare my oxen and I'll bring you the cow." So the tiger agreed to this. He thought a tender young cow would make a much easier meal for him than the tough oxen. So he said, "Very well, I will wait here in the field while you go home and get the cow, but bring the cow back as quickly as you can. I'm very hungry." The farmer took the oxen and went sadly homeward. "Why do you come home so early in the day?" said the wife. "It is not time for dinner." "A tiger came into the field and wanted to eat the oxen," said the farmer, "but I told him he could have the cow instead, and now I must bring him the cow." "What?" she cried. "You would save your old oxen and give him my beautiful cow? Where will our children get their milk? And how can I cook our food without butter?" "We'll have no food at all unless I plow the field for my crops," said the farmer crossly. "Now untie the cow for me." "No, I will not give up my cow to the tiger," said the wife. "Surely you can think of a better way to get rid of the tiger." "No, I cannot. He's sitting in my field waiting for me and he's very hungry." His wife thought for a moment, and then she said, "Go back to the tiger and tell him your wife is bringing the cow. Leave the rest to me." The farmer did not want to go back to the tiger without the cow, but he had no better idea, so he walked slowly back to the field. "Where's the cow?" roared the tiger angrily. "My wife will be bringing the cow very soon," said the farmer. At this, the tiger began to prowl about, growling and lashing his tail. The poor farmer's knees shook in terror. In the meantime, his wife dressed herself in her husband's best clothes. She tied the turban very high on her head to make herself look very tall. And then she took a long knife from the kitchen and put it in her belt. And then she put a saddle on the pony and rode off to the field. As she drew near, she called out to her husband in a loud voice, "My good man, are there any tigers about? I've been hunting tiger for 2 days, and I'm hungry for tiger meat." And she slashed the air above her head with the knife in a very threatening way. The farmer was so surprised he could not answer. "Aha!" cried the wife. "Is that a tiger I see hiding in the grass? I ate 3 tigers for breakfast the other day, and now I'm hungry for more." And she started to ride toward the tiger. These words frightened the tiger. He turned tail and bolted into the forest. And he ran so fast he knocked over a jackal who was sitting and waiting to feast on the bones after the tiger had finished his meal. "Why are you running away?" called the jackal. "Run, run for your life," cried the tiger. "There is a terribly fierce horseman back in the field. He thinks nothing of eating 3 tigers for breakfast." "That was no horseman," laughed the jackal. "That was only the farmer's wife, dressed up as a hunter." The tiger came slowly back. "Are you sure? Did the sun get in your eyes? Didn't you see her hair hanging down from the turban?" asked the jackal impatiently. The tiger was still doubtful. "He looked like a hunter, and he swung the big knife as if he was going to kill me." "Don't give up your meal so easily," said the brave jackal. "Go back to the fields. I will follow and wait in the grass." The tiger didn't like that idea at all. "I think you want me to be killed," he said. "No, of course not," said the jackal. He was hungry and impatient. "If you like, we'll go together side by side." The tiger was still suspicious of the jackal's motives, "You may run away and leave me after we get there." "We can tie our tails together," said the Jackal, "and then I can't run away." The Tiger thought this a good idea, so they tied their tails together in a strong knot and set off together for the field. The farmer and his wife were still in the field, laughing over the trick she had played on the Tiger. Suddenly they saw the Tiger and the Jackal trotting toward them with their tails tied together. The farmer shouted to his wife, "Now the Tiger has a Jackal with him! Hurry away, hurry!" But the wife said no, she would not, and she waited until the Tiger and the Jackal were near, and then she called out, "Dear Mr. Jackal, how very kind of you to bring me such a nice fat tiger to eat. After I eat my fill, you can have the bones." When the Tiger heard this, he became wild with terror. He forgot the Jackal, he forgot the knot in their tails, and he leaped for the tall grass. Then off he ran, dragging the Jackal behind him over stones and through thorn bushes. And the Jackal howled and cried for the Tiger to stop, but the howls behind him only scared the Tiger more. And he ran on until they both collapsed in a heap, more dead than alive. As for the farmer, he was very proud of his wife's clever trick, but the Tiger never came back to their fields again.